You can't go to London without having a look at the British Museum. It's a museum of human history and culture founded over 250 years ago, which first opened to the public on the 15th of January 1759 in Montague House in Bloomsbury, on the site of the current museum building. Nowadays, the various collections contain over 7 million objects, and you won't be alone in seeing them, as 6 million people visited the museum between 2007 and 2008. Nowadays, you don't have to pay to enter the main museums in London, as the authorities saw that the number of visitors dropped sharply when they began to charge admission. The British Museum has in fact always been free, although visitors are asked to make a voluntary donation at the entrance. The centre of the museum was redeveloped in 2001 to become the Great Court. The Great Court's giant glass structure was designed by architect Sir Norman Foster and is based on a design for the German Reichstag. It's spectacular, but you have to pity the people who have to clean it. The Great Court surrounds the original reading room, an important part of the British Library, which was located on the same site until the library was moved to the St Pancras building in 1999. Within the Great Court, there are shops and a cafe, and it stays open later than the British Museum itself. The court is, in fact, the central point of the museum, similar to the pyramid at the Louvre in Paris. Although the museum's free, you have to pay for certain events here, such as the recent exhibition on Emperor Hadrian. Visitors can find plenty of audio and book guides to help them move around, and there are organized visits for schools, too, including activities for pupils. One of the most famous parts of the museum is the Department of Ancient Egypt and Sudan. In fact, the British Museum houses the world's largest and most comprehensive collection of Egyptian antiquities in 7 permanent galleries. The museum organizes special temporary exhibitions both in the museum and abroad, and often lends objects to international exhibitions. Works include the famous Rosetta Stone from 195 BC, and this colossal bust of Ramesses II from 1250 BC. The Department of Greek and Roman Antiquities contains over 100,000 objects from the classical world. These mostly range in date from the beginning of the Greek Bronze Age, about 3200 BC, to the reign of the Roman Emperor Constantine I in the 4th century AD. Of course, not all countries are happy about having their own cultural heritage in the British Museum. Greece, for example, has long contested the presence of the Parthenon, or Elgin marbles, which it claims belong to their original context in Athens.